Okay guys, let's see if I can do this on my first run through because it seems like every time I make a video something happens where I gotta make it like 7 more times. Let's see. First off, let me just say I'm gonna pretty much talk about the costume. I'm not gonna have production photos. I didn't really think to take any when we were making these. So all this really is me giving you tips on what you can do that might help you and make your designs go a little bit easier, I guess. I feel like there's something else to say. Hopefully this setting works because I am still trying to think of a good place to film something, so hopefully the lighting, I mean, so far I think we've got pretty good results so far. And also I do have another Bane video that I've been trying to get up for weeks now, and my internet's just not very good, and it's like a 10 or 15 minute video, and it seems like every time I try uploading it to YouTube it gets interrupted, and it supposedly takes like 3 days to put up with my internet speed. So anyways, done rambling. This is her Poison Ivy outfit. By the way, this, yeah, I don't know, I forgot to mention, this is like my girlfriend's costume that we use for C2E2, and I had somebody asking me about it, and I figured I'd make a short video because it's really not that complicated of a costume. It's just some parts to it kind of get tricky, but let's jump right into it. Okay, so this is pretty much, hopefully you can see that. Step back a little bit just so that way we can make sure that you can see it. And sorry if you hear that cricket in the background. There's a cricket in the basement. It's driving me nuts. Okay, anyways, this is made out of a corset. So we just picked up the right size corset, and I mean, you can see it's white, so the color doesn't really matter of it. The only things that we wanted to make sure of, you might have different designs, and that's fine, but this is what worked for us, is that this one has, I'm pretty sure all corsets have this. I'm not like a master about this kind of stuff, but there's got the string that you can lace up in the back, and that's kind of how we used, or what we used to get into it. This corset, once again, I don't know if all of them are like this, but this one's got some like weird buckles in the front here. So if you're putting it on by yourself, then that way you don't have to unlace this thing every time you put it on. And you could probably think of a design where you could just button it up in the front with those little clips, but she was really worried about like wardrobe malfunctions, and so she didn't want to compromise any strength, and so she pretty much glued leaves everywhere on the front of this. Let's see, she started at the top. By the way, I was there when she was making it, and she did most of the work, but I still kind of know what I'm talking about when I'm saying stuff like this. She started from the top and worked her way down, and what she did was she kind of separated all the yeah, I should probably start out with what you need. You need hot glue, you need leaves, and artificial leaves, and you need a corset. Yeah, those are the materials you need. I probably should have said that a long time ago. So pretty much what we did is we went to Michael's and we got some artificial leaves, and they came on these like fake branches, and we just ripped the leaves off, and we got those at the I want to say at the I don't remember. They were like a serious sale, like they were like 75, 85% off or something like that. And so we just bought a huge bundle of them, and we've got a bunch of green leaves, and the way you put them on is you just hot glue them. And we started from the top and worked our way down, and she kind of wanted to have the whole like heart-shaped thing going up on top there, like go around the boobs or whatever. So that, I mean, I'm sure you got your own designs, so that's up to you. But start from the top, work your way down, and let's see if I can get this in camera. I'll show you that later, I guess. Pretty much what you want to do is the corset is only going to go so far down on your chest. I mean, it's probably going to go to above your waistline, somewhere around there. So what you want to end up doing is glue farther down. Like the seam of the corset ends about here, and she glued these leaves down. And the way you can do that is just kind of like when you're overhanging the leaves. Let's see if we can kind of get some. No, you know what, I'm going to show you that now, just to make life easier for everybody. Okay. sorry, this is really makeshift. I haven't practiced this at all. Okay, so this is what she has going on back here. This is kind of crazy, but it works. Pretty much what you do is you just glue leaves on top to each other. Like, it's not going to be very strong, but it'll work. You'll start gluing, like hanging leaves over the corset, and then like leave the under half, and then glue another set of leaves underneath that, and then just keep working your way down until you go to about mid-thigh or however long you want it to be. And the way the back works on this thing, sorry, this is kind of hard to hold and like kind of demonstrate in the same screen. Okay, so if you can see, the leaves are they look like they're kind of attached, but they're really not. She just got them buttoned, like this entire flap right here, this thing right here, this is all just kind of hanging loose. Like this is how she gets into it. Like, she'll kind of open it up, and then she'll climb into it, and then it makes your life a lot easier if you have somebody helping you, obviously. But she'll close it up, lace it, and then there's buttons right down here. Let's see. She used kind of small buttons, but you could probably find some bigger ones. And right there. Hopefully you can see that. And she put those, the other side of those snap button things, underneath the corset here. Jeez, this is nuts. So, down here. So when you close the corset, and then you kind of take this flap and you tuck it underneath, and you find where they button in, and then you button those in, and that's pretty much how the butt flap works. So that's really, I mean, the hard part about it is that you have to figure out how you can get into this thing and still have it covering you, because you can't just leave this entire thing connected down here, because how are you going to get into the corset? So you have to make it some type of detachable way, and you still want to make sure it's strong enough where it's not going to completely like just obliterate while you're trying to wear it. So as you can see here, she glued them, and then for even extra strength, she was sewing leaves all over the place. And she used like the same color of leaves that are on the outside, obviously. And one thing that might help you guys is that when you're making these, kind of space your leaves out. Like, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it was kind of like an assorted set that she bought, and so she just kind of scattered those, so it just wasn't like a sparkly section right here and a dark brown section there, and that'll kind of help you guys bring out that look. Let's see if I can open this up. Jeez, this is something crazy going on here. Okay. You might be able to tell now that the corset still goes down to about here. I can feel it. But she started gluing leaves on, and then she kept going down, so that way she could drape it over to like her thigh, and she wouldn't be exposing anything. I think that's pretty much it. And it really isn't that bad of a project. Hot glue is going to work. I mean, now that she's worn it a couple times, there are some sections where leaves are kind of like coming loose, but that will just be simply touched up. So hot glue will work. Sewing probably would also work, but that would be a lot of leaves to hand sew, because that's what took the longest, was the hand sewing part of it on the bottom. But hopefully I got that in screen where you guys can see like the way this works, because she doesn't have any of the leaves attached right here. They're all attached on the one side here, and then you can kind of pick it up and over and button it underneath. Gosh, I hope this is coming in camera. But you can button it underneath, and that's how you get into it. So you close it over, you lace it up, and then this flap comes underneath, and it'll button up into place. And that will work pretty well. Let's see, I can button it up right here. So you can see it'll close like that, and it looks like, I mean, once you start wearing it, it'll look like it's all shaping around your body and look like it's fitting, and there's not going to be gaps and stuff like that. One thing that might help you, oh crap, what was I going to say? Oh, you're going to want to put this thing on and take it off a lot when you're working on this, so that's why it'd be really nice to have somebody to help you out with this, because when you put this on and tighten it, it's going to be in a different spot. So you want to make sure you know where those buttons are, because you can kind of see, like, if she wears it like this as opposed to like this. That's why she had a couple buttons, because she did that part without anybody really helping her. So she put a couple of buttons and one of them happened to work. So there is always that option, I guess. But yeah, you want to make sure that it'll make your life easier if you have somebody kind of helping you where you should put buttons. I think that really covered everything. I hope it did. I hope that kind of cleared it up for people that were confused about that. So yeah, sorry, I'll check out the video before I post it online to make sure. But hopefully that works out for you guys. And of course, have questions, comments, whatever. I check my YouTube like all the time, so I'll be glad to answer those for you and comment back. And yeah, good luck, guys. Let me know how it goes.